Hello, my name is Pedro Santos and I'm here today to talk about the movie Braveheart, which I wrote my leadership paper about. The movie Braveheart is about William Wallace, who was a Scottish leader who fought for the independence of Scotland against King Edward of England in the 1200s. Wallace is a textbook example of transformational leadership. Although throughout the movie and throughout his life, he demonstrates many of the pitfalls that visionary leaders can suffer from. One of them is becoming too personally attached to his mission and vision, to the point of causing his own death and the death of his closest friends and family. Wallace is able to inspire a whole country because he has a strong and captivating vision. This vision creates a legacy of change for the people of Scotland. And he's able to do this by presenting the simple dichotomy between freedom and slavery, between being free Scottish people or being simple slaves of the English society. He does this by using some of his earliest childhood experience and some of these core values to shape his vision. He's such an inspiring leader that many people in the aristocracy of Scotland and England admire him, such as the King of Scotland at that time, Robert the Bruce, who states, "He fights with passion and he inspires." One of the earliest scenes in the movie demonstrates when he's a kid, and this happens after his father and brother died. He meets this young girl the same age as him, who talks with him and tries to comfort him. And later that night, he meets his uncle, his only family member left, that takes care of him. And when he lays down in bed and falls asleep, he's dreaming about his father laying down that, and his father turns around to him and tells him, "Your heart is free. Have the courage to follow her." And this is just, it's a clue of his subconscious telling Wallace about his innate leadership skills, his innate skills and knowledge. And it's basically telling him that his heart and himself, they are already free. He just needs to demonstrate throughout his life in his actions and behaviors. So he just has to to have the courage and passion to do it, nothing else. It also could be interpreted by his subconscious telling him to have the courage and passion to fight for someone that he cares because it says to follow her. And it's to follow the little girl he just met that later in his life will become his wife and girlfriend. Therefore, his subconscious mind is just telling him that whenever she gets captured by someone or something bad happens to her, you'll need to have the courage or passion to follow her, or you pretty much will die with her. And this is one of the main reasons that makes Wallace starting to fight for Scottish independence. Because up until to that point, he had stated that he just wanted to live a peaceful life in his community and raise his family. He didn't want to be involved in politics. Also, another important scene is when Wallace starts gaining some leadership experience and starts becoming famous among Scottish communities. And the father of Robert the Bruce tells him, and his father is called the Leper, and he tells to Robert the Bruce the King, "Admire this man, this William Wallace. A compromising man are easy to admire. He has a courage, so does the dog, but it is exactly the ability to compromise that makes a man noble." So basically, what Leper, the father of Robert the Bruce, is telling him is that anyone can show courage or passion for something. What matters is the ability to think critically and use your intelligence and skills to know when it's best to adapt your leadership style or your personality style to certain situations, when it's important to compromise, or when it's important to fight back aggressively and not try to negotiate these terms. And this is something we see over and over with William Wallace because he ends up creating many enemies that could be his friends in the Scottish society and aristocracy, even in the English society. Some of his sympathizers cannot work with him just because he's not able to compromise, he's not able to negotiate any terms or even negotiate an action plan. Normally, he's so passionate about it that he has his action plan and he's stubborn enough to just go with it until the end. Another important scene is right before the Battle of Stirling, one of the most important battles of the Scottish independence, where Wallace convinces the Scottish army is to fight back and just gather and not give up and go home, even though they are overpowered by the English troops. And he does that through the following speech: Fight, fight and you may die, run and you live, at least a while. And dying in your beds many years from now, would you be willing to trade all the days from this day to that for one chance, just one chance, to come back here and tell our enemies that they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom? And this is one of the most important scenes and speeches in Wallace's life and in the Scottish independence, because he is able to demonstrate his true self and his passion and motivation to the other Scottish men that are fighting in the army with him and for the Scottish independence. He's able to demonstrate that you can be a good warrior and everything else and know how to fight and how to strategize. But if you don't have the self-confidence in your skills or the passion or motivation to fight for something in your life or do something that you care about in your life, you'll be regretting many years from now or whenever you're in your deathbed, what if you had done this or that or fight against the English troops in this case? What would have happened? Have they had a better life or not? Also, at some point, after they win the battle, is discussing the best strategy to keep fighting the English. Wallace is discussing with Robert the Bruce, the Scottish king at that time, and he states, "There is a difference between us. You think the people of this country exist to provide you with possession. I think your possession exists to provide those people with freedom. And I go to make sure that they have it. Now tell me, what does that mean to be noble? Your title gives you claim to the throne of our country, but men don't follow titles, they follow courage. Now our people know you. Noble and common, they respect you. And if you'll just lead them to freedom, they would follow you. And so would I." Wallace is just trying to tell Robert the Bruce that he needs to show some courage and passion for Scotland and for their mission of being independent, because what's the point of being educated in the art of war and many other things and having a legitimate title given by his family status, if he's not able to fight for anything or at least something he cares about? I mean, he must care about something. So he's just trying to tell him that he has the capacity to do something about it. He just needs to show it that he wants it. Also, later in the movie, Robert the Bruce is complaining to his father how frustrated he is to be not part of the in-group of William the Wallace, who's the major leader in Scotland at that time and in England too. And he states to his father, "I have nothing. Men fight for me because if they do not, I throw them off my land and I starve their wives and their children." So basically, what he's telling his father is that he has a legitimate position in power, but no one really follows him because, like Wallace said, men don't follow titles, they follow courage. And Robert the Bruce, up to that point, he hasn't showed any passion or he hasn't showed that he cared about really anyone besides himself or his power or just keeping his status. So this demonstrates a problem with leaders of just because you have a legitimate position, it doesn't mean people will follow you automatically. You need to show it and demonstrate it to people. Finally, towards the end of the movie, Wallace states, and this is one of the most iconic examples of his leadership, when he's talking with Princess Isabella of England at that time. Isabella says, "Mercy is to die quickly, perhaps even live in a tower. In time, who knows what could happen?" And William replies back, "If I swear to him, then all that I am is dead already." Isabella says, "You'll die. It will be awful." William says, "Every man dies. Not every man really lives." Isabella tells him, "Drink this. It will dull your pain." And William replies back, "No, it will numb my wits, and I must have them all. For if I'm senseless, or if I'll failed, then long shots will have broken him. So he's basically just telling Princess Isabella that he's not gonna take the poison to kill him slowly instead of being tortured and killed with knives and many other things, because he'll be giving up on his dream and his passion and everything that he has thought about and everything that he has tried to do for the people of Scotland and for his community is gonna die with him, because in everyone's mind Wallace is a fighter and is the true example of leadership, and no one should be ever afraid of life's conditions such as death when someone is fighting for someone they care about, for their lives. So therefore, William Wallace is just demonstrating that in life you need to be true to yourself and you need to be able to follow your heart that is already free or already knows what you like or what you don't like. You just need to demonstrate it throughout life in your actions and behaviors. Thank you very much. I hope you like my review from the movie and my leadership analysis. And I'll see you soon.